Okay, so we got another Stranger Things tier list here. It's a little zoomed in. I apologize about zoomed into like 125, so I gotta zoom in a little bit here. So quality might be pretty bad. So we got little. This is the season three. I finished season three last night, which was pretty cool. So we got great, good, okay, fine, didn't care for, and it wasn't in season three because some of these are not in season three at all. So let's get these out the way. Some of these guys were not in season three, but some of these tier lists, like that are obviously not really that accurate that much. So to get those out the way. A lot of these tier lists are like not accurate sometimes. So this is all the characters that are in the season three here. So the Russian guy, this is pretty funny to see that where they thought this guy was like a Russian, and then but to say he was like one of the instructors for the he was like a yoga instructor or something like that. So it was funny. So I'll put him in okay. It was consistency was pretty funny. Um yeah, let's get a lot of these characters out the way. Hopper, great character. Let's get a couple of these ones that were in like their own thing out the way. Alexi, great character. Joyce, great. Where's Murray? Murray, yeah, great character. So what's really cool is that they a lot of these guys they kind of like doing their own thing basically. Um, so Joyce and Hopper they would be like arguing all the time like this season and like early season. Um, wait, hold on, these weren't in here either. There we go. So anyway, these two like Hopper and Joyce they'd be like arguing about a lot of times. Basically one I believe it was the first or second episode of season three where they were planning on going somewhere. Basically Hopper was gonna mad that 11 and Mike were spending a lot of time together. So he tried to go to Joyce, but Joyce went to help Joyce. Well, he wants to get advice from Joyce, but he of course didn't. And then so they set up a time to go to Enzo. I believe it was Enzo's, I believe. But Joyce was there because there was a power outage that caused magnets to fall down. So Hopper was like obviously hung over from that. So, but a lot of seasons they were spending episode of arguing, but they do it is really there's like they do have a really good arc at the end, and then of course Murray plays a much bigger part this season. It's like he'd be like a little bit in season two, where he was like a little bit in season two and a little bit in season one. He plays a much bigger role now. This time he's like trying to like they bring in Alexei, which is like a Russian, but he was in the lab under the mall, and basically what happened was he was basically he was they were the Russians were opening the gate back up, so and then Mary was like translating him, but they start arguing. Of course, much like Joyce and Hopper, they start arguing, but then they become like friends. Of course, it's pretty cool. Um, so it's pretty cool. So a lot of these characters, I will say, a lot of these characters they are a lot fucking better now. So yeah, let's get some of these characters that were actually were like in a group together most of the time. Nancy and Jonathan. Where is Jonathan? Here he is. So basically, these two like the chorus together. Of course, they were together in season two. Like of course together in season three. And then basically, what happens was they get a new job. I believe it's called Hawkins Post. So they basically find out like some old lady Triskel uh is basically wasn't like something was happening to her fertilizer. Like the rats were getting into it, but then of course the rats were going crazy, of course. And then they like confused what the fuck's going on. Find Triskel eating like fertilizer, and find out like she's something going on with her, what's going to happen with Will in season two. But then, of course, the people, I believe Tom, yeah, his name, doesn't believe her. Of course, doesn't believe them. Of course, and when they want to get a fight, they get an argument in a car. Of course, and then later on, like it's the next episode, they eventually just like come back together in the in this next episode. Brenna, he was not in it either, so he was not in it either. So, but let's get yeah. So let's see who we want to get next year. Oh yeah, it's Mr. Scott. He was good. He was a pretty good character. basically, Joyce went to go talk to him and find out what was one of the magnets. Basically, turns to find out that basically, hypothetically, it was like some like giant like machine that like caused all the power to go out in Hawkins and fucked up the electromagnetic fields, and then which caused the magnets to fall down. So he basically creates like device. There's not much showing up in a school this season. There's not like many scenes in a school this time, so it's really interesting. But yeah, she does. Yeah, but I think Scott is up. He's pretty good. He like helps out Joyce, so it's pretty cool. Um, who else are we gonna find? Driscoll. She was okay. She was one of the ladies who were like all like uh possessed by the mind flyer. Well, mind flater, because it was a smaller version, smaller, weaker version of the actual mind flayer. Dustin's mom, okay, there's like a scene in the car where Dustin's getting pissed off because then like no one's answering back, so there's that too was pretty funny. He gets pissed off, and then Ted's okay. Ted's okay. Karen, she's okay. The way to plot with Billy, where they're trying to like have them be a couple, which is pretty weird, but we'll get to Billy soon. We'll get to Billy soon. I'm just getting some of these characters in okay for now. Holly, okay, I have a feeling she's gonna be in a major role in season 5, because now that she's gonna older, and I feel like she's gonna have a major role in season 5, much like Erica did this season. So I feel like she's gonna have a major role in season 5. The cops, the typical there. Oh, court, the of course is okay. The cops are just okay, of course okay. They were fine. Um, the doctor, I forget what his name. It's not Brenna, but I forget what his name. He output him in fine because he shows up for like a little, like a few seconds at the on the last episode, so he's okay. Um, alright, so it looks like it, and I guess put Billy's mom in okay as well. She was like a little bit of, like a flashback scene where they're in it's young Billy and her in California, and it's a pretty cool scene. But you really don't know much about her, but she's okay. Now we get to the other characters. Let's get these characters. Dustin, let's get Robin, a really great addition. Steve, really good addition, and of course Erica, really good addition. So basically, so Dustin gets a new girlfriend, Susie, who's from Utah, but doesn't have a way to communicate. Because so he has to get like a thing called Cerebro, which is basically a satellite at the highest point of Hawkins, where he can reach like anyone, which is pretty cool. So he has to contact Susie about it. Susie doesn't answer, so instead he gets a infiltrates this a thing about the Russians in so he gets a message that's actually about the Russians, and turns out they're in the mall underneath. So it's like these four. I think Erica, really great addition. She would seem like always like Erica, like she was okay. She was fine. She was like the typical little kid, but she plays a really big role in this because they use her to get to the events and unlock the door, since the door is like a they got to use a key card, and of course they also Erica and Dustin, of course, they break these two out from the Russians. So Robin, really great character too, really great addition. It works really well. See, they make a funny ass fucking duo too. There's a funny ass scene where they're in like they're like on fucking drugs. That scene was fucking funny as shit. That scene was funny as hell. They're like in the shipping craze, and it's funny as hell. It's a great scene. It's funny. So she's another great addition. Also, the backstory, where she's actually a lesbian, which is pretty cool. Really cool backstory. So they touch up on the well being gay a little bit, but not fully. Not fully though. But so like these four characters are really good too. Really great. Um, I guess with the Russian guy that they're after, he's good. He's been like one of the Russians that was working with Alexei with the power with the gate. He's pretty good. He keeps like turns out he's working with Carrie Elways. Yeah, the mayor who's really fucking played by Carrie Elways. He's fucking funny as shit. He's funny as hell in this one. He's very funny. So yeah, he's basically like He's working with him. These two working together. So and then so the mayor he's basically he's trying to get this guy to like go after Joyce and Hopper since they're trying to like of course trying to stop them from opening the gate back up. So and I know a lot of people don't like the Russian plot point in season 3. I didn't hate it because that was the thing back then. That was the thing in the 80s. It was part of the Cold War where it was always Russians and Americans and like they're always like every single movie from that time period, it was always them like fighting. So it was always them, and I didn't mind that. I really did not mind that at all. So I shouldn't mind that plot point. So it was also pretty interesting too. So then mostly put it fine. Um, Heather, yeah, Heather, she's okay. She's basically one of the people that are being controlled by the Mind Flayer. Uh, and basically turns into like a sludge. But I think that's yeah. The mom, she's okay too. Like she's one of the people that possessed too. Turns out it's actually not just like one. It's not just one person. It's like multiple people. So that's but so for great. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. The doctor. Well, for the doctor. Doctor. I think it was good. He was pretty cool. He likes to like inject him with something. Tom, who was Nancy and Jonathan's boss, but also one of the people that were possessed by Mind Flayer. I say he was really good. I say he was pretty good, honestly. Put Susie up here too, real quick. She has like but put it in good. She gets much better in season 4, but turns out she's of course these two they don't believe Susie. No one believes Susie exists. So then of course later on they get a call and it's actually Susie and Dustin. They're trying to figure out Planck's constant, which I believe is like numbers just shifted in a different order. I believe. I don't know. I'm pretty stupid when it comes to that shit, but that's pretty much like what it was basically. I think that's what it was. So store clerk, I forget his name. Nick, he was fine. He basically shows up in like the end of season at end of the last episode where they like in the movie at the video store and he's like one of the managers trying to like hire them, answer him like questions about the movie. So it was a pretty funny scene. Then these characters: 11, great character; Lucas, great character; Max, Mike, put him in last, and Will, all of course great characters, of course all together. Of course, great characters are all trying to like figure out what the hell's going on. They think it's just Billy that's being possessed, but then Nancy and Jonathan they find out it's like, oh no, it's also Triskel, it's also Tom, it's also a bunch of other these people. So Billy, great fucking character. I know season 2 I put him in didn't care for. So Billy he's actually was being possessed by Mind Flayer. Um so which is pretty cool, and he doesn't really get that much screen time, which is interesting. They don't give him that much screen time like that. Well, they still do. Okay, he still gets a good bit of screen time, but it's not as much as they did in season 2, where I felt like he was like always on screen like at all times. But so of course oh yeah, he gets a huge fucking arc in season 3. This time he's being possessed by a Mind Flayer, but he also just goes confused to show what the hell's going on. So he snaps out of it. So it's really it's definitely a lot better, and he also like a huge arc in the last episode. So it's really good. I think Billy turns into a great character this season, and it was the Mind Flayer, well, the Mind Flayer since it's a smaller, weaker version. A really great thing, a really cool thing that you added. Basically, it's not just like I said, it's not just like one person. It's multiple people, but also then again, if I was an interdimensional being, and I was trying to possess someone, and they get me out of that person, motherfucker, I'm coming back with a fucking army this time. So I'm coming back with a fucking army. I'm ready to fucking kick some people's asses. That's so. it's a pretty cool thing that they did. And then of course the whole thing with Billy, basically like sacrificing himself, a really upsetting scene, but also really really cool thing that he did. Completely flips the whole entire character around, which is pretty cool. Uh, so yeah, I'm at season 4, but here's the issue I'm running into. So I don't know if I want to finish it early or if I want to wait until season 5. I don't know. Um, I'm kind of I'm on the fence about that, but anyway, let me know what you guys think about this deal list. Um, and I will see you guys later.